Uh, 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 uh. What's going on? Oh, what I just do there? Who knows? Won't, won't. Hey, gang. We're not on the vertical stream. That's okay. Fuck it. All right. I think I'm good to go. By and large. Okay. There we go. What's going on? Fire fam. Oh man, I don't know if you guys are going to get another notification that we're back on the air. Because I know how YouTube is some suckers. But that's okay. We're going to do it anyway. Welcome back to Burn It Down with Kim Brown, the Tuesday edition. My deepest apologies for not being able to do the live watch party, but I know you all watched tonight's presidential debate between KOPMALA and Trump. And while it wasn't the grand shit show that I greatly anticipated it to be, it was still a shit show. And I will say this, so, in fairness and transparency for those that may not be familiar, it's definitely fuck Trump and Kamala, to be clear. I will say this in the interest of objectivity. Kamala, she did all right, right? She was able to not be baited or overly goaded into Trump's, Trump shit, what Trump likes to do. Fling accusations, some accurate, some accurate accusations and some inaccurate, accusations. I appreciated the way that both candidates called each other a liar repeatedly, which is accurate. I said, look at that. They half-ass telling the truth out here. Good for them. That's about the most truth that we could expect from Trump or Kamala, that they would correctly call the other liars, because that is indeed what they both are. But, there were some revealing things about the debate. Number one, and I think I missed like the first question of the debate, and I interpreted it that they were discussing tariffs, which seems to be like a common question amongst the journalists who are posing policy questions to these presidential candidates. And it's like, I guess, I understand that the US, which this trade deficit that we always hear about, yes, we absolutely import more goods than I suppose that we export, or that we even are able to produce here domestically for consumption on the homeland. But tariffs is what we leading with when people are paying upwards of 40% of their income for housing. We talking about tariffs. I feel like Iverson play on practice. Within practice, I feel like Iverson out here. Allen Iverson asked a question. Practice? Why we talk? Fuck, we talking about practice? Ain't we in the playoffs, my nigga? Right? The fuck we talking about tariffs? Let's talk about some real shit. Let's talk about the things that people are actually facing on a day-to-day basis. And tariffs, I don't think are always front of mind on that first of the month when that rent and or mortgage is due. You did? Yeah. So I think the lead question again was about tariffs. I think I missed that. When the question turned towards immigration, it was the same old shit. But something did jump out at me about the immigration portion of the debate, because Trump, woo, this nigga Trump was on one. Trump talked about Springfield, Ohio, where migrants allegedly are eating people's pets. I said, is Trump breaking news? I have not heard that. That is a story I had not, that one flew under my radar. And I said, That rather sounds like bullshit. What the fuck are you talking about? People just showing up eating people's cats and dogs? What are they breaking into farms? Like I can understand if they actually slaughtering something worth eating, like a pig or a fucking goat. But Fluffy, like, come on, be serious. And but the kicker part of that answer from Trump came when he mentioned Aurora, Colorado. And shout out to Abby, shout out to Learn Life Abby, because Abby's out there, and I had asked Abby about a number of TikTok videos from Black creators talking about the Venezuelan gang takeover of these apartments in Aurora, Colorado. And when I heard, and it's and it that also sounding like bullshit coming from TikTok. I'm like, is that what's happening? However, the real story being that these apartment complexes, or this particular apartment building, is owned by a slumlord that is trying to get out of doing much needed repairs, doing all kinds of fuck shit to the tenants there. You know what I'm saying? Abusing them, treating them badly, forcing them to live in degrading conditions, imposing rent hikes, etc. And when I heard Trump mention that tonight, I said, oh, so it's confirmed. That story of the Venezuelan gangs taking over the apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado. Oh, that's confirmed bullshit. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Trump, for clearing that up for me personally. There has been some journalism around this, pertaining to, I think it's called the CBC Corporation. I can't recall what the name of the apartment owners are, but they are Trump supporters. So it kind of makes sense that this story has its origin in conservative spaces, right? And we know conservatives, they don't lie about things, do they? No, no. Surely they don't. So I was like, oh, good. Thank you, Trump, for clearing that up, making sure everybody knows that. The problem is that people like these Black TikTok creators, some of them anyway, the ones that I saw make videos about the shit, about this fakery, they're gonna take Trump mentioning it in the debate as some sort of validation, like, see, Trump mentioned it. Lord have mercy. Did you guys hear Trump actually reference Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, Jesse Waters? He's like, yeah, all these people looked into the shit. Like, what? These are your credible sources, Donald Trump? Woo! Down bad, pop. We down bad. Set aside for a moment, I would like to give some credit to tonight's moderators. I do not know their names. I do know David Muir by his face. I'm sorry, my apologies. Lindsay, I don't know Lindsay's last name. My deepest apologies to Lindsay, and absolutely no disrespect meant to Lindsay. I'm not trying to, just not say her name. But Lindsay, let me shout out Lindsay in particular, though. And I've heard it done so rarely. When you hear it, it's like, thanks. But Trump going on a tangent about him sending reproductive access or abortion back to the states, by appointing the justices that overturned Roe v. Wade. And did you know, the previous governor of West Virginia, he said, let the baby be born and then we'll figure out what to do with it. They were killing babies. They were killing babies. They were aborting babies in the 9th month. Conservatives they love to spout that shit. They love to spout that shit in particular. They absolutely love it. And very seldom do you hear journalists, especially mainstream journalists, ever. They never push back on that. And let me tell you what a mind fuck that does to audiences who may not know better, right? They don't hear the alleged fourth estate of media journalism, folks, reporters here to allegedly hold politicians accountable for their actions because words are supposed to mean things. I know we live in the dystopia right now and nothing means absolutely fucking nothing anymore. That's done, but back in the day sometimes words meant things, right? And when journalists do not challenge that lie that babies are being aborted in the ninth month, or rather, let me rephrase that. It's not that babies aren't being aborted, it's about the viability of the fetus. And one prime example that comes to mind of such a thing, of people who did not abort the child. I used to watch Run's House back in the day. Run's House used to come on VH1. The story about Reverend Run, founding member of the rap legendary trio Run DMC. He's a Rev, Russell Simmons, brother. But anyway, he has his wholesome family, Raka kids, and he and the wife were expecting a baby, and very tragically, the baby was born with I know there's a term for the condition, but it was born with its organs outside of its body, right? The baby didn't live long at all. I think the baby only survived maybe a few hours, right? And I don't know what their family planning decisions was, but my point is people who find themselves in situations like that where there are birth defects so intense and severe that the child won't have much of a life if they survive the first several hours or several days, right? I mean, it's not something that I think parents would choose or would opt for or would allow their child to suffer in that way, right? So, yeah, there are so-called late-term abortions. And sometimes they happen when the baby is also stillborn inside of the mother. Like there's a variety of reasons. uh, n- I, I would say all of them are fucking medical. Nowhere aborts healthy 9-month old or yeah, 9-month old fetuses, not 9-month old, but you understand, in ninth, then that deep in that third trimester, unless there is serious health consequences for the mother's health and for the viability of that child. And I appreciated Lindsay. I hope her name is Lindsay. I thought I heard Lindsay anyway. I appreciate that journalist tonight pushing back and telling Trump, nigga, ain't nowhere in America are they aborting 9-month old fetuses. Like, let us be fucking for real. So thank you very much for that, Lindsay. Yeah, and yes, David Muir and Lindsay was way better than Fake Tappa and Dana Bash moderating. I appreciated some of the real time fact checking, but at the same time, um, some of the fact checking that went unaddressed was also pretty glaring. So, huh, quickly, hold on. Let me get to the glaring not fact checking because I just remembered Trump. So here's Trump. Trump's a lying motherfucker all the time. If Trump is breathing, this nigga is lying. Um, and one thing he did say that I said, he kind of telling the truth. He said, sadly, he predicts within 2 years that the state of Israel will be no more. Sir, you might be right about that. Israel appears to be going down. And I think in that same sentence, he said that the United States is our nation is in serious decline. Also true. Very good. Okay, Donald, we on a roll. He coming with some accuracy. Um, and then he said that Kamala hates the Jews, and then he said she also hates the Arabs, and declared that should she get elected to the White House, it will indeed be World War III. Well, nigga, World War III could come on many roads. World War III got several routes that are available to it. But anywho, but here come KOPMALA. clapping back at Trump on his, I suppose, foreign policy and the way that he is perceived abroad, saying that the international leaders, in particular NATO leaders, laugh at him and say that they're glad that he's not there, etc. But then she said something like, it's time for some leadership, or it's time to demonstrate once again that America adheres to international norms and standards, or something to that effect. She said it more than once. And I said, bitch, bitch, what? Not while Netanyahu is got a whole ass arrest warrant out for his ass from the ICC and the ICJ. And I understand that the International Criminal Court and the International Court of Justice are not institutions or entities that the United States is part of. We are not just members or signatories to the ICC. But the fact that it gets wholesale omitted that the leader of America's biggest ally, that we have sent many billions of dollars worth of weaponry to, so that they, our ally, Israel, can commit genocide against Palestine. And the fact that there are two international bodies that the majority of the world are members of, that have deemed that Israel, our ally, is committing war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. And these international mores and standards that KOPMALA claims that America is somehow in deference to or adhering to it anyway, that doesn't get challenged by the journalists, right? Because that helps to keep America very much isolated and tunnel vision thinking. I mean, again, the lack of international even news that gets reported on mainstream outlets is ridiculous. Like, Americans don't know shit about shit. That's not happening in America, I promise you, right? All they know is some shit's going on in Ukraine and in Palestine. There's some shit going on over there. That's it. Now ask Americans to find Israel/Palestine, or rather Palestine, the occupied Palestine. Ask them to find that or Ukraine on a map. Good luck. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Americans don't value the opinions and even the fates of what's happening to other people globally. It's a very selfish existence, very myopic existence. It's sad, to be honest. So anyone that's watching abroad, I mean, have some pity on us, okay? Because they're doing a bang up job over here on the propaganda front and on the curating of narratives and the manufacturing of consent. They're doing impeccable work, okay? So don't try not to be too hard on Americans here, particularly those that are Black in America, because sheesh, they're doing a doozy. What were some of the other things that jumped out at me? Well, first of all, I love the fact that Trump is still not letting go of shitting on Joe Biden every chance he got. He got a couple of funny ones off. What did he say? He told KOPMALA that, oh, well, if you think you can get this done, why don't you go back down to Washington? Go wake Joe Biden up, get him out of bed at 4 p.m. because he's in bed. I said, wow. Where is Joe Biden? Is he president? Who is the president? Y'all, wasn't I just asking this question not that long ago? Wasn't I just asking this exact same question? I was like, is Biden even fucking president anymore? And here comes Trump. Trump, obviously a fan, I think. Because did you guys notice? On at least two occasions, Trump said, burn it down. They would know. He said, they were burning down Minneapolis. I said, damn, when that happened? when did they burn down Minneapolis? This nigga loved to lie. When did they burn down Minneapolis? Oh, they burnt up a couple things, but damn, the whole city, my nigga. Wow. I didn't know it went down like that. So wait a minute. But he said burn it down. Like I was waiting for him just to finish it out. Like part of me was half anticipating him to say burn it down with Kim Brown. That's crazy, bitch. I don't know what I was expecting from Trump. So, um, it I have to say, like, and I say all of this very begrudgingly when it comes. Let me go back to KOPMALA. I know I'm kind of all over the place, you guys. We're not on the vertical stream, so I don't even know if anyone's fucking in here. But if you are, thanks. Hold on, let me see if I can get up here. Did the place give a notification? They did not. Of course not. YouTube be a whole hoe. Let me say this about KOPMALA though. That fucking debate prep, whatever the fuck she did, and whatever strain of histamine, not histamine, what's the shit? Amphetamine, right? That's what Adderall and Vyvanse are, right? Aren't they amphetamines? Help you focus. So between her debate prep and between her script, I gotta say, KOPMALA, she didn't come across horrible. That if you did not know her, you might be impressed with her. We do know her, so we remain unimpressed because again, in her closing statements, she was very quick to beat on her chest about how she was a prosecutor and she was a DA. Hold on. On that note, going back to when immigration came up, it really fucking grinds my gears to hear KOPMALA when discussing immigration and migration, right, at the border, talking about her credentials as a prosecutor and how she prosecuted transnational criminals. She prosecuted transnational criminals trafficking guns, drugs, and humans across the border. And she made a very big point to say she prosecuted that. But I'm like, hold on. Out of those three things you named, drugs, guns, and humans, how what about the humans? Like what about the people? What about the very innocent folks who, if they are being brought across the border for trafficking, how are they being received here? Are they being received with compassion? Are they being allowed to apply for asylum? Are they being allowed to stay? Are they being themselves incarcerated or detained because of their immigration status? If you acknowledge that so-called transnational cartels are bringing people across the border and you prosecuting the fucking transnational, what are you doing about the people? Like, how are you helping them? Like it's this lack of true empathy, it's this lack of humanity that permeates from America's politicians, irregardless of the political party. These motherfuckers are ghouls, okay? They don't give a fuck. And the funny thing is, point to me at any point in America's existence when it was not reliant upon immigrant labor, okay? Motherfucking, I mean, enslaved Africans, not immigrants, but definitely imported to be exploited for lifetimes over the course of many generations to do what? Build this shit fucking hole of a country. Chinese people imported, brought here to construct the transnational railroad. And then they brought in the Irish and the Italians. And then they brought in the Eastern Europeans. And then hold on, even in pre-colonial or colonial times, rather, it was the English sending over their wretched, all their criminals and mentally unwell and ne'er-do-wells. Woo! What a phrase. Anyway. So fuck KOPMALA on that shit. And fuck Trump on that shit all the way, because there are people literally like trying to come here in order to be in search of better opportunities, okay? And these people are no less deserving than any fucking European that came over here, than any other migrant group that came from other places, not North America. Fuck you. This ain't even our shit. Okay? This is indigenous land. This is Turtle Island. Please. Knock it the fuck off. Do not have dominion. But man, abolish borders. Can we start there? We need to abolish borders. Bad times. Anyway, hold on. What are some other points that was raised? Trump tried to beat his chest about, overturning Roe v. Wade. Something else Trump said that I took interest in because, huh? Kamala. Oh, right. No, I mentioned the Eaton pets. Springfield, Ohio. Maybe do we have any Ohioans? Can anyone confirm that Trump has lost his fucking mind by by insinuating in a national presidential debate that people's house pets are being eaten? Anyway, but KOPMALA brought up Project 2025. And Trump did something kind of funny or interesting, rather. Maybe funny and interesting. He said he hasn't read it. He hadn't seen it. He don't want to see it. Trump said, "Don't even show me that shit. I ain't even tripping on that. Listen, I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. So how can you accuse me of implementing any of the policies laid forth in this comprehensive manual of conservative fascism and how to accelerate it to that point?" Trump said, "How could you even accuse me of any of this shit? I ain't read none of this shit." You know who has read that shit though? Everybody that's advising Trump, right? So Trump is hilarious. Talking about he hasn't read Project 2025. He don't want to see it. Sir, we know there are a lot of things that you haven't read. Likely you haven't read any of your indictments. You also probably haven't read any of your tax returns. Like Trump hasn't read a lot of shit. I bet you he scans and knows in intimate detail his prenuptial agreements, however. Trump don't want to be bothered with the details. Give Trump the fucking cliff notes out here, right? But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. It's like, dog, who gives a fuck if you read it? All your homies have read it. all your homies have put the stamp of approval on Project 2025. It don't matter if you haven't read it. And so switching back to KOPMALA here for a second. KOPMALA, I thought did a good job of deflecting when Trump attempted, to paint her with talking about her being a Marxist, and her father was a Marxist economist, and he taught her very well, and she didn't even pick up she did not pick up the bait. He repeatedly tried to bait her, and she didn't bite, which I must say, as someone who lacks discipline myself, right? As someone who occasionally can be said, that a reactionary, I have been called. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I will react and say things. I I I was impressed that she didn't take that bait because, well, maybe that also depends on how she feel about her daddy. Also, by the way, like I didn't realize. I don't know what kind of relationship she had with her father. From what I understand, she did used to summer in Jamaica when she was a child with her grandmother and such. But I have no idea to the extent her dad was present. So she may not give a fuck if Trump bomb on her father. She may not fuck with him. But I don't know that, and that's not my business, and I don't care because at the end of the day, this was about policy, of which I think we got very little useful policies for folks that are looking at their everyday situation and wondering the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Wondering why they have two jobs, wondering why the same $100 at the grocery store is buying like a third of the shit, right? I mean, what is the plan? What is the plan, Mr. Trump? What's the plan, Madam Vice President? Oh, you want to create 25 million new applicants for small business? I'm sorry. Everybody who may be full-time employed, You have time to start a small business on the side. You know what I'm saying? I know that's what America has conditioned and programmed us to believe, that this entrepreneurial spirit, picking yourself up by your bootstraps. Baby, Americans work and eat out here like we have free healthcare. Okay. Like, work yourself to fucking death if you want to. You're going to be kissing an early grave before 60. Okay. And that is exactly what capitalism expects. That's what it demands. It will grind you all of your years. Okay. The way that we even still in the 21st century attempt to exploit the labor of children. So, okay, so you want to get 13 and 14, 15-year-olds involved in the labor force. And what? You want them to work till they're 72? Is this what I'm trying to, is this what I'm understanding? Outrageous. And the way that this is just presented to us as normal, it's just as regular. Kamala's going to help you start a business. Kamala is going to help you get $25,000 towards a new house. Well, fun fact. In the DC area, I do believe that the medium house price, median, I'm not the ear doctor out here. I could say medium, the medium, but it's not me. The median house price in Washington DC proper, I believe, is hovering around $1 million. What your $25,000 gonna do on a down payment of $1 million house, an $800,000 home, a $750,000 home? By the way, that shit might be fucking 1,500 square feet. That shit could be crazy. It's bananas. So between the politicians responding to questions in their own dystopian way, and between the journalists doing a better than bad, the average, mediocre, again, because politicians in America do not get given real, actual, comprehensive, detailed, specific questions by mainstream journalists, and it's understood. You know what I'm saying? It's a game. This is the game that they all play together. The journalists want continued access to the likes of Kamala Harris and the Trump Vance ticket and top congressional Republican. They want to get the big interview. You know what I'm saying? Fuck those people. Okay. If you're not going to ask them real fucking questions, if you're just going to be there and be some sort of, the stenographer, as it will, and you're not even going to include the whole of the issue, fuck is you doing? But it's intentional, everybody. It is very intentional that politicians are not asked what are they going to do policy wise to help bring down the cost of housing. Groceries. I don't know what the fuck KOPMALA's talking about. She's going to do something about price gouging. Okay. Good luck. Wake me up when that happens. And again, regardless of who wins here, that person is still going to be inheriting a divided Congress. And how many terms of presidents have we seen Congress be pretty much split down the middle? I guess the last time there was a majority, well, anyway, but it was all close during Trump. And I guess when Democrats last held the White House and both chambers of Congress was in Obama. And they fucking Democrats dropped the ball. But my point is, Congress is intransigent, okay? It's not doing jack fucking shit about shit. And again, hold on. Here come KOPMALA thumping her chest about how she loves to work with conservatives. Jesus. We worked with some of the most conservative members of Congress to get this border control legislation authored and ready to go through, and Trump made the call and fucked it all up. We was ready to give the Republicans anything they wanted. Right? That's not something to brag about. That's not a bragging point. Also, not a bragging point, being endorsed by a war criminal like Dick fucking Cheney. Can I tell you how much Democrats and liberals have absolutely lost their fucking minds. The fact that for some reason, getting the Dick Cheney endorsement is some sort of signifier of KOPMALA's mass appeal. And I can only deduce that KOPMALA and her policies are appealing to war criminals who support genocide. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Excuse me, driver. Yes, I'll be getting off at the next stop, please. Thank you so much. Please let me off the crazy bus. I can't take this. I cannot take this. I cannot take this because, again, I said this when we first did the first live. Y'all, it don't even fucking matter who wins. The losers have already been determined, and they are us. It is you. It is I. We have lost. We have lost. We have lost. Okay. KOPMALA and Trump are, birds of a feather. They are. They are the evil wings of a single terrible entity, and that is America. Okay. Capitalists, white supremacists, colonialists, imperialists, military, got 800 military bases, militaristic dominance around the globe. And it's unsustainable, guys. I told y'all, I read a couple joints about the Roman Empire. It didn't end good. Okay, it didn't end good. Shout out to the Byzantine Empire. That was the other half. That was the fucking the Arabs and North Africans. You know what I'm saying? The Byzantine held on after the fucking the Roman Empire fell down. Why did it fall down? Part of the reason it fell down is because it was engaged in too many military operations, or it was trying too hard to hold its territories too far away from the actual homeland, right? Also, Rome, it fell in part because of the amount of climate disasters that it got hit with. It got hit with earthquakes and volcanoes and all kinds of crazy shit. It was bad. Now, obviously, I guess, it wasn't carbon emissions that did up the climate back for the Romans. At the same time, we understand science here, and we do understand that gases like carbon dioxide and methane, which is produced in tremendous numbers by fracking, are doing tremendous damage in heating up our fucking atmosphere. Okay. So America is definitely going the way of the Roman Empire. And when Trump says that the country is in decline, I appreciate him telling the fucking truth. I like the truth don't happen all that often. So when it does, I'm like, good, okay, fuck him, he crazy and shit. By the way, Trump, did you see him? I was actually proud of this motherfucker. He didn't go in about KOPMALA's race when asked the question. I said, look at David Muir choosing fucking violence out here. I said, David Muir openly choosing violence. Mr. Trump, your comments about the vice president's racial heritage. Obviously, a direct quote from Trump, right? There's no point in misquoting Trump. And Trump said, I don't know what the fuck he said, actually. He said something to the point of, well, if she's black and she want to be black, she could be what she wants. Okay, awesome. However, let me say this. Trump obviously wanted to say more. He showed restraint that I didn't think that he had. I thought that he would absolutely gobble that one right on up. Because there is an odd preoccupation with the whites about breeding and about stock and about percentages, right? What's the term that the whites, the colonia, the fucking settler, the whites, American whites used to describe indigenous folks who had white blood in them? It's called blood quantum, right? Like they came up with a disgusting fucking system to rate how white or how native an indigenous person of this land is or was. Mulatto, is a term coined from the Spanish, describing a mule and a donkey, right? Procreating, a mulatto, and an aberration of nature, a mixing of species, right? This is how race mixing was viewed, right? And it was very on brand for Trump, for Hulk Hogan, for all these fucking goofball ass white men, and I guess women. I can only assume that, the likes of maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene and one of these other wayward white women. I'm sure they had something to say about KOPMALA's blackness. However, Trump held it this time. He didn't let it go. But no, check that out. The whites have long been obsessed with purity and categorization of people, and looking at the breeding of populations along the same lines of, what do they call that shit? Animal husbandry, right? Being able to select the best of the stock and how much percentage of what is what. So good on Trump for shutting his fucking mouth for once about that kind of shit. Let's see. The other things that jumped out, there were some funny lines. I can't wait to kind of go back and get some of Trump's best one-liners, because he did get a couple of them joints off. And he was a slight, just a tiny bit more restrained version of himself. He, I think, delivered performance wise things that his audience expects of him. I mean, I'm trying to think, is there anything that Trump may have said that could have appealed to people that might be undecided? In some ways, I do kind of believe, and I don't have any real reason to back this up, but Trump may be able to stop the war in Ukraine. I mean, Putin, him and Putin fuck with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Trump is the adversary of NATO. Okay, like Trump don't fuck with NATO, and he's made that known. And NATO don't fuck with Trump, and they've made that known, right? And ultimately, America runs NATO. America is NATO. The rest of the motherfuckers in Europe, they know what time it is, right? Right? I mean, to Trump's point, they know who paid the fucking bills, right? And they don't do what America say, right? So if Trump is in the White House and he stops sending military shipments to Ukraine, Ukraine is unable to hold the whatever portions of Russian land that they have been able to make incursions upon, which they're not going to be able to hold that shit any fucking way. But that's neither here nor there. Like, Ukraine's going to be donezo out here, right? And even if Ukraine does get admitted to NATO, if Trump is in the White House, he don't give a fuck. He don't give a single fuck. He will tell them, listen, you can send them NATO troops over to Ukraine on the Russian border if you want to. He said it won't be American troops going over there. Now what? Right? So anyway, Trump has his no, he doesn't. Trump be able to do a couple of I don't know. It's all bad, gang. So here's what you should be doing, okay? Number one, do what you can to try to encourage people in your life to sort of look outside of this two-person horse race, outside of this two-party duopoly, right? And, if you have an opportunity to select a third party candidate on your ballot, consider doing that. But at the same time, be made aware that even though Trump and KOPMALA speak very different, they present very different, they appear to have some surface level divergence on some issues. They really don't. They really don't. Maybe on the issue of abortion, maybe, but he didn't lie when he said, after responding to KOPMALA, when she said, if there is a bill passed solidifying abortion access at the federal level, if such a bill were to arrive on her desk, she said she would sign it into law. And Trump said, you'd never get it through Congress. And he's right. He's right. just because I mean these conservatives would be intentionally obstinate. It might make it through the House. I don't know if it would definitely not make it through the Senate because they would impose ridiculous term limit, like 6 weeks, 9 weeks, something ridiculous. Anyway, but regardless, that's what something that conservatives would insist upon. Democrats would not give into a 6 month, and no abortions after I keep saying 6 months, 6 week abortion. Not the Democrats wouldn't go for putting that kind of limit on abortion access, and it wouldn't go nowhere in the Senate. So he's not wrong about that. Um, but anywho, so gang, I don't know. It looks like we got some folks in here. Should we drop the link? Is that what the people want? I would like to get the people what they want. Donnie Bird, did you? So has the StreamYard link been dropped? It's just Dawn in here. Oh, and Abby's in here. So why is this thing lying to me and telling me there's 100 people in here? Oh, well, what the fuck? What's up, Hondo? Y'all come on in here. Do me a favor, give the video a thumbs up on the shit, please, and thank you. Engage with us. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown. I'm usually here Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 in the PM Eastern time. I wanted to smoke and get high with y'all and watch Trump and shit. Now I did smoke and get high, but just not with y'all. And I did watch Trump and shit. So I'm assuming y'all here because we all watched it together. Does anybody want to come up and give your impressions and give your thoughts? And give your thoughts about like the fucking broader state of where this country is politically, what lies on the horizon. Like, I mean, I'm not encouraged. I'm not encouraged by the policies of Republicans and Democrats. They do nothing to address the monkeys in the room. Nothing to address the exorbitant cost of healthcare. Nothing to address the fact that in this country we pay 10 times what other countries pay for shit. Like, you guys ever seen those videos? I've seen these person on the street interviews in the UK, and they're asking Britons or informing Britons, or rather like, asking them and then informing them, asking them. So, I say you had a baby. Oh yes, I had a little baby. Yes. Yes. So how much did it cost for you to bring your baby home? And you see the blank stares, right? They're like, what do you fuck you mean? How much it costs? Which mean I had a baby. I pushed it out of my vagina. Didn't that cost enough? Wasn't that the cost? Oh, well, did you know in the United States, the average cost for a hospital delivery is $10,000? Again, the blank stares and the open jaw on the ground, like people in absolute disbelief at what Americans pay in that kind of shit. Specifically for health care. Okay, we pay more to get the organic brand of food, right? To get the shit not with the pesticides, you actually have to pay more. Wow. 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 Oh, did you know that to combat the issue of children's schools being shot up, we're going to give the teachers guns? That's how you do that. Oh, the teachers have a new alert system. Oh, wonderful. Nothing to address the mental health crisis as to why people at large and children specifically are picking up guns and deciding to unalive their classmates, their teachers, random people on the street. It is bizarre. Like, the country is so sick, it doesn't even acknowledge the depths of its sickness. And it doesn't even, it's fucked up. It's real bad. It's real bad. So that is up to the people about dropping the link. Does the people want the link to be dropped? I have to ask y'all because respectfully, I love you all to pieces, but y'all will have me up here just yammering. I'd be like, well, we dropped that link about 45 minutes ago. Don't look like nobody's going to click it. So just to be clear, gang, it's no pressure here. You don't have to cut on your cameras. I don't require such things. mics only, you know, try not to be, standing inside of the tornado. I don't fucking know, make it as quiet as possible behind you. And yeah, no, it's fine. So if you want to, I think we're going to try to drop the link in the chat. We're going to drop the link in the chat. Let me shout out to the big brother Will, you guys. Well, I guess little brother Will, big brother because he taller than a motherfucker, but little brother because he's a wee fucking baby. Will's birthday is this week, everybody. So we want to wish Wilbert a happy birthday. I believe it's tomorrow. So happy birthday to Will Young Stoner out here. Big up to the Virgos. It's Virgo season. Happy birthday, Virgos. Like y'all. You guys are good folks. You guys keep your rooms clean. Good job, Virgos. All right. Well, you try, or you will once you get grown. Trust me. Anyway, so you guys, while you're here, also I don't know, but if you would like to support the platform, you can do so at our cash platforms. We are at Cash App, BIDWKB, of course, the dollar sign. BIDWKB across the board, baby. Venmo, paypal.me/BIDWKB, patreon.com/BIDWKB, please. And thanks. Much love and appreciation going out to the comrades over at Black Liberation Media. If you are a patron at Black Liberation Media, you've got a really interesting conversation either coming for you or it might be already there. We did something after today's Remix Morning Show, something called the Remix Afterthought. And I feel as though we got pretty candid about, about some of the things happening over on the platform, the rumors, that the band breaking up and shit, you know what I'm saying? That not only is Bobby going, but motherfucking BBD is going. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? So nope. So we wanted to, smash all rumors, dispel the any misinformation, or I don't fucking know. What's up? All right, we're gonna drop the link, y'all. We're gonna drop the link. Shout out to Noli D. What's up to Pamela Jones? What's up? What's up? Dre with or without? Lucius. Hold on. Is Lucius Lewis Kang? Is that the Liu Kang? Oh, I thought he said Lucius. Well, shout out to Liu Kang, wherever he is. We love him. Alicia, my niece, Rosalba, what's going on? It's still daylight over on the West Coast. I'm jealous. But it's hell of a daylight though. Y'all me since the cooling vibrations to our folks on the West Coast. That shit looked terrible. All terribles. So thank you guys so much. Donnie, afraid not. Thank you so much, babies. Court in here. Shout out to Court anyway. Courtney hit me on the hip. Courtney said that y'all could have heard, y'all was hearing me rather, when we first went live, and you could hear the debate too. I couldn't hear it, so that was the technical difficulty. What's going on behind me now? Drop the link. Damien, it's madness. Damien, I wish you lived in a better country because I need, I haven't made an open plea for a foreign husband in a long time, and the time might be approaching. So come on in here, you guys. Anybody that wants to hop on the stream, you are more than welcome. Oh, okay. Well, not necessarily. Hold on. So I don't know. So maybe we won't drop the link. That's okay. Um so I don't know. Hold on. Is it a matter of just stupid copying and pasting in the fucking, this is dumb. You guys, with a passion, I cannot overstate how much I hate pushing the buttons. I hate it so fucking bad. This is bullshit. So anyway, you guys, do me a favor, engage. I'm not gonna be able to do that. So isn't this it? The same shit? Where's copy? I know that I'm not gonna be able to type all that. So yeah, I'm trying to copy, like literally copy the link and drop it in the chat. Like that's the best I can do. So anyway, and I may not be able to do that. So anyway, gang, I appreciate you guys coming out, hanging out. I'll do a live here again and let you guys call in and shit. We might do one fucking Friday because Will is still on vacation. He has some nerve to vacation on his birthday week, the audacity. And so we might do a call-in show and prep it a little a little bit more in advance to be ready to anticipate button pushing and the like. So thank you guys. Do me a favor, hit the like on your way out the door. Please tune in to Black Liberation Media for the Remix Morning Show, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern. I won't be on tomorrow, but what does that mean? Nothing. That we got hitters on deck. We got hitters on hitters on hitters. So look for the ear doctor. I believe Ricky Ryan's going to be in the building. I can't recall if Lucretia or Jackie will be there, but regardless, could be Camus could be in the building. It doesn't matter. Like, you should show up anyway. So set your notifications and your bells for the Remix Morning Show on Black Liberation Media. Also tomorrow, I'm not doing the morning show, but what I will be doing is Kim's Twitch Turn Up on Twitch, obviously. BIDWKB. Shout out to Rosalba. Shout out to Northern Witch. Oh, Rosalba. So Will made me aware of that little of of that cheeky little fellow who had some fucking slick words to say about your auntie. And let me tell you, I appreciate you guys trying to protect me on occasion from odd shit that people say or whatever I don't fucking know. Y'all, I've been talked about for so long, and I mean like bad. Like bad. Like since I was a kid. Like I'm kind of used to this shit. Like there's nothing anybody can say to or about. Well, that's a lie. I'm sure there is something. Like I did see this motherfucker said in some shit that I was a groomer. Now I evidence, my little nigga, or shut the fuck up. Like not in the word is a no. Like me, be serious. I like adults. I'm not interested in children. Groom who? I groom Bagheera. That's who the fuck I groom. So yes, I do. I have. You might be correct, little nigga. I got a 15-year-old that I do groom, and they shit in the house. So maybe is that grooming? So anyway, Rosalba, thanks. Like, don't y'all can defend, y'all cannot defend. I just consider the source, baby. I just consider the source, and that little poor unfortunate soul. I did go to his YouTube channel and I looked at some of his videos, and I thought I did consider, giving him a little attention, but then I forgot. And then I got high. I was gonna isolate the troll, but then I got high. Ooh, and I watched his little funky videos, and I forgot why. Why, Kim? Because I got high. Fuck this nigga. Who give a fuck what this little piece of shit got to say about anything? And I felt bad for him actually because he's too young to be thinking that way. And he's only he was a Hispanic young kid. And I'm like, baby, your white classmates haven't called you a derogatory term you used for reserved for Hispanics. They haven't said fucked up shit to you. I know they have. Like, be serious. You haven't been profiled by the police or by the school resource officer. Of course you have. You can try to suck up to these whites all the fuck you want to, baby. It might get you might could Ted Cruz it up. You might could Marco. You might could come up like little Marco out here. But that everybody doesn't follow that track. You feel me? Like, that's not successful for everybody. You can lick the boots of white supremacists all you want and try to create division, imagine division against black folks out here protesting and trying to struggle for fuck equality, outright freedom. You know what I'm saying? And it's only until you get the nigga treatment. Little, what the fuck was his name? I don't even know what the fuck his name was. It's only just you just a couple of nigga treatments away from understanding. Ask Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying? Look at Tyreek Hill, this goofy ass nigga. I would love to talk about him come Friday, because now that they hold on, I'm gonna hold y'all 2 more seconds and I'm gonna let y'all go. They really, y'all seen the body cam footage of Tyreek Hill getting pulled out of his car. Okay. Um and it it's pretty interesting that Tyreek, number one, says that he aspires to be police. Didn't he say he used to run with the state troopers or something fucking wild that he said? He said he doesn't want to create division. But at the same time, how are you the one creating division, Tyreek, by simply telling or describing what happened to you? You were profiled, right? You complied. I was watching TMZ Live today, and don't ask, but Harvey and Charles, I mean, poor Charles Boudier, Jesus Christ, he will say whatever the fuck to keep his job. Jesus, he will soft shoe and step and fetch it and make excuses. Harvey Levin had the audacity to talk about that they were both wrong. Tyreek Hill and the cop were both wrong. I didn't see how the fuck Tyreek Hill was wrong. He didn't want to roll down his window. He didn't fucking have to. Compliance is providing your license and registration. He complied. The fuck he got to keep the window rolled down for? What law is he breaking by keeping his window rolled up? I'm sorry, Miami-Dade sheriffs thought that star wide receiver for the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, was what? He had the Glock in the passenger seat of his $300,000 McLaren, ready to let the chopper sang on the fucking cops a block from the stadium on week 1? Like, are we being serious? Harvey Levin talking about they was both wrong. Well, he didn't comply. Here's the thing. Here's what Tyreek Hill did wrong. He didn't yes sir, no sir, moti sir. He didn't suck up. He didn't know his place. He didn't have the tone of what these whites and this fucking white adjacent cop with a Hispanic accent, could be white himself, or the fuck we know. I don't know. Regardless, he wasn't deferential nor respectful enough. And let me be clear, everybody. Being rude to the police is not a crime. It is not something that you could be arrested for. It's not something the police themselves should even give a fuck about. You asking him, cop asking Tyreek, how come you don't have your seatbelt on? Nigga, write the fucking ticket and put him on his way. If he wasn't seatbelted, if he was somehow non-compliant, if he was reckless driving, if he was speeding, write him his fucking ticket. You have no reason to pull this man out of the vehicle, but for the reason of intimidation and to humiliate him. Okay? And let me tell you, that we was talking about this today, I guess, on the morning show. The brothers was quoting, I believe, Daruba Ben Wahad, saying that the victims themselves should never be at the podium. That has a lot of that has a lot of ring of truth and sensibility to it. You know what I'm saying? But here come Tyreek. How he couldn't believe how he was being treated, considering he said he felt he was being obedient, and he was. He didn't have to be nice. He didn't have to say it with a smile on his fucking face. But ultimately, what the dominant white society believes, and this was echoed in the comments of Harvey Levin, even though they didn't say it, it was the inference, right? Black men need to know their place. They need to know that if they are not perfect in encounters with police, they know that they can lose their lives. Tyreek Hill should have known that potentially his life and her livelihood was in danger, and he should have been way nicer and way more cooperative. Well, how much more fucking cooperative was he supposed to be providing his license and registration? The expectation that black men will get pulled out of the car is one that they are raised to expect, because it is very likely to happen. And again, pulled out of the car for no fucking reason. Put face down in the sidewalk, handcuffed for no fucking reason. But because Tyreek Hill has terrible politics, his politics are awful, awful, awful. Mark my words, there's going to be a public relations stunt event featuring Tyreek Hill and the Miami-Dade sheriffs. It's going to be some sort of beer summit like that goofy shit we saw Obama do with Henry Louis Gates and the fucking cop that hemmed him up on his fucking porch. Obama said, "Can we all just get along? Let's have a beer." You know, Henry, what could you have done different in this situation? To not get yoked the fuck up on your porch. Henry, what could you have done different? Jesus, watch Tyreek Hill allow himself to be a clown, a stooge, a puppet, a minstrel, a pawn. Watch him allow himself to be used in such a way. Okay. And the actual factual is what we all know. And I guess maybe on some level, Tyreek Hill knows, but definitely the Miami Dade sheriffs know that had he not been Tyreek Hill, had he not been driving a $300,000 car, which by the way, $300,000 car didn't prevent him from getting his face put in the fucking sidewalk. Now did it? Money do not protect you, bougie niggas. And I do not know how many times the states and the whites need to show us to reinforce that fact. But had he not been Tyreek Hill, famed footballer, right? Had he been Tyreek from fucking Lil Haiti, okay? Had he been Tyreek from motherfucking Opalaka, right? Pushing a bucket, right? With some big fucking rims and stokes on that shit with the gold in the mouth. Nigga be doing the trick daddy. If he had been Tyreek with all the shit in his mouth doing the trick daddy, you know what I'm saying? Man, he could have been a hashtag very easily, and he know it. And if he don't know it, he need to know it. Somebody needs to inform him. It do not pay to fucking kiss up to these goddamn pigs and to the establishment at large, because even if you rich, you still a nigga in a coop, okay? Period. Point blank. Don't you forget it. Your money does not protect you out here from white supremacy, nor from violent white supremacy, and especially not from the agents of the state that practice white supremacy and anti-blackness and violence against you. So anyway, thank y'all for letting me get that off, because I'm annoyed by Tyreek. But I will say I don't know. I had empathy. No, yeah, I had empathy. Then when he said he wanted to be police, then I kind of took some of the empathy away. But then I saw the video, and I had a little bit more empathy. But I'm a little conflicted. You know what I'm saying? I If you going coon for the police, then I what. I mean, if you go coon and talk about, I think the police do a good job. I don't understand. I was obedient. Well, you don't understand, huh? That's too bad. But so if you gonna coon for the cops, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, beloved. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna push. Like I said, tune in tomorrow morning, Black Liberation Media, for the Remix Morning Show. We'll see y'all back here on Friday for the Friday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. Again, thank you so much. Subscribe, like, share, like you care. And I'll holler at you guys. See you, bye.